Well, hi there. Well, hi there. How are you guys today? Not gonna lie, I'm very fired up right now. But anyways, I thought we would put on some makeup together and just hang out. So if that sounds good to you, it sounds great to me. Let's do it. If you haven't clicked the subscribe button, make sure you join the fam. You won't regret it, especially if you're into fragrance content, beauty content, and a little bit of lifestyle content sprinkled on top. Okay, let's just jump right in. I do have to get my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. My grays are coming in, guys. They're coming in hot. There's a lot of them. I'm excited because this section, I think I'm gonna get a gray strip here eventually. I don't know, I'm loving it. I'm loving the gray hair. I don't know, I'm into it. I'm into it. It's so funny that I'm like, wrinkles, no, but gray hair, yes. Maybe it's because my dad's had white hair my whole life. My brother had basically all gray. I don't know. Maybe it's just a family trait that makes me feel warm and cozy, but I'm proud of my gray hair. Something I received an influencer, which I was really excited about, is the Hollywood Flawless Filter by Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in medium. I have never purchased a Charlotte Tilbury product in my life because they're expensive. I actually really like this product. I have a couple complaints. It's so skinny that I feel like it just makes application a little annoying, but that's just me, you know, picking hairs there. The price. Would I pay for this full price? No, because truly the e.l.f. is so similar. I've been going in with my KVD in Light 015, which is a little light for me. This is the Good Apple Liquid Foundation, but the Flawless Filter is a little dark for me, so the two together work out pretty well. And I've really been enjoying this little sponge that I got on Amazon, and I kind of just dot it over top that filter so I can blend them together. The filter alone, when I tried it, made me look way too shiny, way too greasy, accentuated my pores way more than I want to, so I don't like to use it alone. But with the foundation, I think it looks really pretty. If you guys remember, the Blendiful is, I feel like it does kind of push the product into the skin nicely, especially in my pore areas where I struggle. The Flawless Filter shears out the KVD enough that I like the KVD more. I don't mind the KVD Beauty Foundation at all. I think I actually received that in Influencer as well. It can look a little cakey on my skin. As you guys have aged, have you also felt like if something is a little cakey, it really ages you? I think that Flawless Filter adds a really pretty shine without being too much. And again, it just kind of thins out that foundation that can look a little masky on me, as well as helps the color, because this was definitely too light for me. I'm not going to do anything too crazy when it comes to makeup today because I'm just going to be at home cleaning. And later tonight we're going to bonfires at my sister-in-law's. Something I've been doing lately when I just feel like it is I've been using the e.l.f. No Budgie Matte Eyeshadow Stick as my eyebrow pencil. This is in like a deep dark brown and it does work out pretty well. And I just use a little angled brush and pick some up and then work it on into the brows. So I started the video by saying I'm all fired up. And I try to keep things lighthearted here. I really do. Because honestly, that's what this channel is all about for me. Like, this is my me time. This is my hangout with my friends. This is my remember who I am without being a mommy. And that's very important to me. I really, really enjoy this. Because you know I'm not doing it for the money, okay? This is just truly a passion, a love, my escape. So that's what this is, so I like it to be that for you guys, but is anybody just feeling like so bogged down by the cost of everything? Truly frustrating. Like, I feel like my husband and I try to be wise financially. We are far from rich. I put us in the very normal middle class. My gosh, these prices are getting out of hand. And I know it's everywhere. I know it's everywhere. I don't care if you're in the Midwest like me. If you're in the East, you're in the West, you're in the South, you're in the North. Everything just seems to be going up and up and up, and it's getting crazy. Like, we have some current goals that we have. I'll be real, we have one credit card that we want to get paid off. It's nothing crazy. Like, when I'm saying this stuff, I think my fear is that I don't sound grateful, because I am so grateful for my life. I really try to lead with gratitude, with positivity. Like, that's who I am. That's why I close out every video with Just stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. I think so much of life is mindset. That doesn't mean times aren't hard. That doesn't mean things can be hard. It doesn't mean that we can't be down. I have dealt with postpartum depression to the max. I have dealt with losing beloved family members. Like, life has so many hard parts, but I think our mindset so much helps us get better, helps us get past, keeps us moving forward. So that's why I try to keep things so lighthearted here, because, you know, I know so many people have so many struggles in life, and I'm definitely one of those people at times that feels like, well, if my struggles aren't as bad as everybody else's struggles, then I shouldn't complain. But then, you know, I see things like memes online that I'm like, you know what, that is so true. Like, just because someone has it worse than you doesn't mean you're not allowed to feel how you feel in a certain moment, right? And that is true. Like, everybody's battle, everybody has their own battles. Everybody. Some people's battles are really big. Some people's battles are really small. But some people's really small battles feel like really big battles to them, because we're not all made the same. We all have different ways of dealing, processing, different life experiences, different backgrounds. So my whole thing is to say, I don't want to sound ungrateful, because I am so grateful for my life. I literally go to bed every night. I've been trying to do this every night. I really try to say, thank you, God, thank you, God, thank you, God, because I have my family, and that is the biggest blessing in the world. I have my kiddo. She's healthy, she's beautiful, she's wonderful. She's just literally, if nothing else could go right in my life is wonderful, because I personally think I have the best girl on the planet. I know every mom feels that way. I don't want to sound ingrateful, and sometimes that's why I have a hard time bringing up trials or tribulations or feeling like I'm complaining. Let me know, are you guys that way? Like, do you have a hard time feeling like you're complaining? I don't like to sound like a complainer. Like, I don't want to be a complainer. I was really debating before I sat down to film, like, do I bring this up? Do I not bring it up? But man, it is weighing on me today. And I feel like, from talking to the people in my circle in my life, I'm not the only one feeling the pinch. These prices are getting out of hand. Like, it is so hard. Work on financial goals. Our little goal is to right now to pay off. I have one medical debt from getting my gallbladder out, which was not expected last year, and a little credit card that has some things on it from our trip to visit my grandma in Florida. Typically, we have this credit card. We do this every year. When we take a trip, we have a chunk of our vacation fund set aside. We either use our tax refund or a husband's work bonus to pay for a lot of our trip. It's never taken us this long to pay off this little credit card crap that we have left from the trip. It's like gas, food, some of the fun things we do. It's never taken us this long, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, and then it's like, well, I'm looking at every time I get groceries, and I would love to hear from you. Like, what part of the country are you in? Are you really seeing the groceries go crazy? Because here in the Midwest, I just feel like from what we're used to, and it's all definitely kind of what you're used to, because some areas of the country run higher than others. But man, these prices compared to previous years, these grocery prices are crazy. It's like paper products and Ziploc baggies, some cleaning supplies, the non-edible stuff as well. I spent $260. We're a family of three. How you big families are doing it, like, oh my gosh, I feel for you, because when I was checking out, I saw a family with a couple kiddos and their cart was like full, and I was like, I'm terrified to hear what their total is, because it's going to knock my socks off. Today for powder, I'm going to use something that I haven't really been reaching for, the Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last. So I know there are so many who have it so much worse than me. I almost forgot concealer. I have a friend who has 5 kids, and I'm like, I can't imagine. But it's just like, okay. And then I'm like, this is why it's taking us longer to pay this off and to work on these goals of getting these things paid off, because we're spending so much more on groceries and household essentials than like ever before. And I'm like, that's the huge difference, because most of our other bills have stayed relatively the same. Gas is definitely up for sure. But again, another blessing is my husband works from home. We have one car, so we don't use a lot of gas. We just do our local city driving here, unless we're taking like a trip to see family. So we haven't felt the pinch on that too much. It's definitely groceries are like the big thing. And I've also truly been trying to buy more whole foods. I'm really working on that with our kiddo because she's definitely a snacker like so many toddlers. And I was just like, okay, she can't survive off of goldfish. She would want to, but I'm like, she needs more whole foods. So I've really been trying to buy like lots of easy reach whole foods for her. And we just go through them so much faster than I would ever imagine. And it's just like, I feel like I get groceries, I blink it 3 days later, I'm like, okay, we need more bananas, we need more cuties, we need more cheese sticks. Like, it's just like, poof, where did it all go? So I'm just feeling frustrated with our paychecks not going as far as they have. And I know a lot of people feel that way. And my husband and I have decided that like, we usually don't, I don't want to say we go all out. We don't get like anything crazy for Christmas, but we usually do pretty big Christmases, like whether it's our gifts for each other or gifts for the kiddo. But this year I'm like, okay, we're really going to be careful and wise with what we're spending. Like really, we're going small for ourselves. We're not getting anything crazy for Christmas because I'm not trying to go in debt for Christmas. Like I'm not going to do it. And I saw a meme the other day that reminded me that like, I think there's a lot of pressure at Christmas to give really good gifts. And you just don't feel like you're doing enough. And it's like, you know what? The meaning of Christmas is to show you care, to spend time with family. We do not have to spend a ton of money to do that. And if anybody's not okay with that, that is on them, because I feel like I would be so understanding if someone was like, I'm sorry I couldn't, get you more, get you something bigger. I'd be like, oh my gosh, no, like thank you for thinking of me. It's not about how much you spend. So sometimes it's funny how memes can kind of make things click in your head, because it definitely happened to me. I was like, you know what? You are so right. I'm not going to spend a bunch of money this Christmas. An eyeshadow palette I've really been loving that I've had forever. It's super cheap. Is the That's Taupe by ColourPop. Love this because there's a couple shimmers in here that look really pretty on the lid that go on so easily with the fingertip. But the reason I was so fired up is because right before I sat down, that I was like, is right now the right time to sit down? Because you are fired up, is we were just looking at our health insurance. And again, I'm sorry to keep saying this, but I really hate sounding like a complainer, like the fact that we can have health insurance. Like I should be just so grateful. So please don't think I'm being a complainer. It's just we were sitting down and looking at the health insurance options from his company because it is that time of year. And oh my gosh, the changes in our plans, in the current plan we have, we're going from a $3,000 deductible to a $4,000, from a $6,900 max out of pocket to an $8,000 max out of pocket. And let me tell you, it took us 2 years to pay off having my daughter with the $6,900 that I was like $8,000, and we're gonna spend like, I think it's like $30 more a month. And I feel like we spend a good chunk of money for the insurance already each month. I'm like, so we're spending more to spend more if we do need some type of medical coverage, or if we have some type of medical event, like when my gallbladder went bad, like that wasn't planned. It's like some things you can plan, like my husband and I planned to have a baby. So like if it was something planned, sometimes you can like stash money aside before, or like do things to like alleviate some of the cost. But like my gallbladder going bad, like I didn't see that come in, like felt fine, and then boom, I didn't feel fine. And it's like, oh, okay, well now here's a giant medical bill. So we're looking at then the better plan that then gives us the option of, and I saw Raw Beauty Christie actually posting about this on Instagram. So I'm like, I know I'm not the only one who's like, oh my gosh. Then the better plan is, I think it's like off the top of my head, it's something like $6,500 or it's like I think it was like a $2,200 deductible with a $6,700 max out of pocket. So very similar to what we have now, but if we want that better plan that keeps us from having an $8,000 max out of pocket, which is like a lot to me, like that's a big deal to us on our budget, and we would then have to pay, I think it was a little over $300 more a month. Like that's also like, that's a big chunk. Like that's a lot of bill money right there. It's just like, we're like, okay, what do we do? What's the better option? It's like, we got to sit down, we got to crunch some numbers, like what can we cut here? And I will be real, I'm like, okay, I like to spend money like the rest of them. I like to shop. I've been trying to be better this year, far from perfect. But I'm like, okay, delete my Amazon account, get rid of that temptation. I will be in 2024, it'll be the year of being very wise in counting every penny. And blessings, blessings, count your blessings. I'm blessed. I have a roof over my head. I'm able to put food on the table. We're able to have health insurance. My husband has a job. I have a job. We have a car. Like, things are good. Overall, things are good. I hate to sound like a complainer. I know I've said it 700 times. And I'm sure some of you are thinking, like, we know you're not complaining, it's really fine, but I just hate to sound like I'm complaining. We're making the same money, but it's not going as far as it once was. But anyways, that's why I was all fired up, because literally right before this, we were looking at the insurance option plans. And I think the other reason that I was like a little, is because my husband was like, at first he wasn't even going to switch our plan, because it's like, okay, it's the middle tier one, like we're used to paying this. And at his last meeting they were like, if you're on this plan and you want to stay on it, you don't need to worry about anything, it's staying the same. Well, someone did not do their research, because I was like, well, let's just open up this document here to see what it says. And I'm like, that is not the same. That is not the same. Like, that deductible has gone way up. The max out of pocket has gone way up. So someone is giving incorrect information here. But other than that, life is good, y'all, honestly. I am really excited about the holidays. I think I'm in a good mood, a better mood or headspace right now, because we've been having the most beautiful fall weather. This is Glowish and Sassy Saffron. I really love this blush. We've been having the most beautiful fall weather. If you are from the Midwest, are you guys having the same weather? Because it's been unreal nice here. Literally the last few days I've been going on like early afternoon walks, not like peak, but like 11:30. So what is that? Late morning, early afternoon in a t-shirt in mid-November. Hello, this does not happen. It is so common that we have snow on the ground right now. It's been fan-frickin-tastic, okay? I'm obsessed. I want it to never end. Like, we've been going for play dates at the park in mid-November. I'm like, this, I love this, I love this. Please never go away. Please, 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 please. I feel so happy when the weather is nice, the sun is out. I love walking outside. Like, it just clears your head. I can be having the crappiest day. Then I go for a outdoor walk, and it is so nice. So, huge blessing, I will say, is we are members of our local Y. If you guys have a local Y and you can swing it in your budget, I will say, like most things, they've raised their price recently. I was like, oh, son of a gun. But for me right now, since we don't do daycare and I stay home with my daughter during the day and I work in the evenings, I feel like it's a necessity, because on days where I'm just having a hard time, like she's been a handful, or we're getting awfully cooped up in here, and by us, I mean me, I'm like, okay, we're gonna go to the Y. We go almost every day, and the daycare is included with our membership. And since we don't do daycare, I love when my daughter gets socialized. She gets to play with other kids. It's very important to me, especially since she doesn't have siblings, and I'm still so on the fence if I even think I want to try again because of having the severe pre-E. Getting her out with other kids is very important to me, very important to me. And just having that option has been so wonderful. She loves the daycare. The workers love her. They're so nice to her. I've been so impressed. She has so much fun. She gets some energy out. And then I can either work out in the building, or sometimes when it's been nice lately, I go walk around the building for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, I feel like a new woman. Literally, the sun, the air, getting the blood pumping feels so good. For lips, I think I'm going to put on something easy. It's like, I think I said something like, I'm not gonna put on that much makeup, and then I feel like I've put on a lot of makeup for cleaning the toilets. I do like this color. Ooh, I like this color. Okay, this is KAB in Charming. I'm sure it's something that probably came in like Ipsy or Boxy Charm way back in the day. But I've truly made working out a staple of my life, and I don't do anything crazy. Like I really don't do anything crazy. A lot of days it's just cardio. But over this last year, I tell you, it has helped me so much. It just helps me get all of that frustration out, and I feel so much better afterwards. I was doing really good with lifting weights, and then like 3 months, like we went on vacation, so like 3 or so months ago, and when I got back, I just haven't got to it, and I haven't had it in me. I don't know what it is. I just haven't been able to convince myself to get back to it, and I'm like, you know what? You got to start doing weights again, because I was really enjoying it, and I honestly was noticing a difference. I felt stronger. So I do miss that, but it's just working up the gumption to start over, you know? And this is the e.l.f. in Pink Sugar. I do think this is a beautiful gloss. It does do a little plumping. It's got some glitters in there that are actually really really pretty. But it doesn't feel too grainy on the lips. Not the smoothest, but definitely not grainy. And then the mascara I've been using is the Thrive. I did sign up for the every 3 months, and depending on how prices keep rising, I might have to unsubscribe and go back to my very cheap mascara. Truly, the only reason I switched to this is because I was getting so frustrated at the end of the night, since I work in the evenings, and I come home and I try to catch up with my kiddo from being gone, that by the time I get my makeup off, I was having a heck of a time getting a lot of mascaras off. Like, it felt like it was taking forever. It would get all over my face, and it was just driving me crazy. It was just a little stupid frustration for the day. You know, obviously nothing life-changing, but in the moment you're like, son of a... I was like, you know what, I'm going to switch to the Thrive because it is a tubing mascara. I wore false lashes a week ago, and I think I'm still finding glue. Is it my favorite? I'm gonna say no, and I'm just kind of debating on if I'm going to keep doing it or not. I love the removal, but I do feel like this formula gets kind of dried out relatively quick. I do think it's very lengthening, which I really like. I love a lot of length on my lashes. I don't mind a little bit of clump as well. Like, I like to have some volume in there. Like, I don't want it to be super clumpy, but I like it to look like I'm wearing mascara. That's definitely up my alley. But I do feel like it kind of gets a little clunky, chunky, dried out fairly quickly. So I might do 1 more month and then kind of see how I'm feeling after that, because this was my first order. And I was like, well, maybe it's just this batch. And my only other complaint is I really don't like the wand, which is kind of a big deal because I do have a hard time separating my lashes. So I don't know, I might go back to my cheap ones, honestly. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I could save some monies by unsubscribing, because I think it's like $23, and I really don't like this wand because I can't separate my lashes. In this formula, I do feel like when I go in with my metal lash comb, can kind of come off the lashes fairly easily. But then it's like some days it looks so good that I'm like, oh, it's worth it. But then other days I'm struggling and I'm like, it's not worth it. So I don't know. I'm on the fence. I can't really say I feel like, yes, I want to recommend it to you at this moment. So like, not horrible, but not the best I've ever seen. Today, since I'm not going to have a super long, crazy day where I'm trying to impress anybody, I'm going to use the ColourPop Hyaluronic Acid Spray. I should have done that before mascara. I normally do. But yeah, this is the look. Honestly, yesterday I did my hair for work in a little different way, where I let it totally air dry on its own. And I did put in this Eva NYC curl spray. And I let it dry, and my hair has just like the slightest little bit of wave to it. It used to be real wavy, but the older I get, she's getting straight. Let it dry, and then I just went in with my straightener and just put a few little soft waves, just kind of framing my face, and I was really happy with it. I felt like air drying it gave it some volume, and anyways, I thought today it's like messy, but it's kind of like cute messy, I feel like, and plus I'm just cleaning the house. So anyways, this is the look. I really need to stop rambling your ear off because I really need to get things clean before I need to go pick up my kiddo, because my house, you guys, my house. For those of you who have kiddos, toddlers, the struggle is real, y'all. I used to pride myself on keeping a clean and organized home. That was the days of the past. I've come to terms with it. She's not the same. She's changed. She has lowered thy standards, okay? And sometimes I just think you gotta do that to get by. That is all I have for you. I really do need to go start cleaning before my time limit is up and I gotta go pick the girl up. So thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me and keeping it real. And as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. If I don't see you before Thanksgiving, have a great one.